Yes, people, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Yash Talks Football. Today's video is one I've been looking forward to make, and that is about Manchester United. Um, but if you are new around here, subscribe. If you've been here before, and hit a like on the video, share it, drop a comment in, do whatever you have to do to help this channel grow. This year, as in 2024, has been a very good year for this channel, and I will talk more about it in a YouTube short, but I just want to say big up to everyone who has contributed to the channel. We're at 176 subs on now, I believe, and we've come a very long way since I started doing videos at the end of at the start of last season. So yeah, let's keep that going further and further. This channel has a lot of potential to grow even further, and that is not without the help of you lot. So big up to everyone who has contributed to that. Now, Manchester United lost 3-0 at home to Bournemouth again. This time last year, they lost 3-0 to Bournemouth under Ten Hag. And under Amorim, they've done it again. 17 goals in their last 9 games. Minus 1 goal difference. They're back in overdraft. They owe the Premier League goals again. They went into a little positive goal difference and then came back down again. Their patterns of play, which is what people have been talking about the most, are there. However, their final third is fucking terrible. And when, because I was keeping an eye on the Manchester United game yesterday. It was yesterday. They started off the second half with a midfield of Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes. They bang on Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho, and then Garnacho missed a one-on-one. Are we surprised? Not really. To be fair, if you look, I kind of blame Amorim in a way because his team lineups from at times this season have been questionable. We're only finding out now that if Amad Diallo doesn't have a good game, no one has a good game. Let's be real, because he won the game for them against Man City. He was okay in the game against Arsenal. And if we look at their sort of run of fixtures, so they lost yesterday. They lost away at Tottenham. They just about beat Victoria Pilsen and then lost at home to Forest. And their form since Amorim took over, so he took over at Ipswich. So they got one, two, three wins in. If I can do the maths, wherever. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 wins in 9 games, if I'm counting that right. No one can tell me there shouldn't be questions that are answered. And yeah, I get it. Amorim's just come in, and they do look better in some places. However, the thing that is stopping them from being better, obviously, is the attacking third. And I hear it when you've got players like Bruno Fernandes, who's terrible, Garnacho terrible, Rashford not even playing, Højlund terrible, and Amad Diallo is your only good player in attack. You are going to suffer, but that's just, it's a result, from what I'm seeing, right, it's a result of every bad decision that has come from the previous regime with the Glazers, with Ten Hag. Like, you've got the likes of Mason Mount, who doesn't even play. Lisandro Martinez, he's being found out for what he is. He's not that good. Their couple goalkeepers are terrible. Let's be real. Onana and Bayern. Yeah, Bayern had one game, but he's terrible. Ugarte isn't all that on the ball. If we're being real, they need at least 5 or 6 starting players in January and maybe even the summer. They got Xerxes and Højlund, who Xerxes, he looks a player, fundamentally he looks like a decent player, but for some reason United aren't getting the ball to him properly. Rasmus Højlund is terrible, like I said. They need a good 5 players or so in January, and what I've constantly been seeing from Man United fans is, yeah, they can see the patterns of play, they can see what they're doing, yet most of them, not all of them, but most of them have been sort of not criticising Amorim where he should be being criticised. And a lot of what I've seen in his time here is that the starting 11s that he's been picking for games and the in-game management has, if I'm being real, has been questionable. And You can say that he's rotating. You can say that he's trying to figure out the best players for a system. If I'm being real, he probably was doing that when Ten Hag was still here, and I wouldn't use that as an excuse because the players that have come in, it looks like they were his signings, and the facts that we know what players aren't good enough, well, most of us know what players aren't good enough in this squad. He should definitely know, and he keeps persisting with them. When Ruben Nistelrooy first came in as interim, he played a Cassinu guy in midfield, and it looks like it was working. I've got no idea why he hasn't gone with that. He's gone with Bruno and Mainu. He went with Ugarte and Mainu, and I genuinely don't understand why he hasn't gone with a midfield that was working under Van Nistelrooy. Yeah, it was Van Nistelrooy. He wasn't the permanent manager, but we all saw what was working, and yeah, it's funny to see what happens with Manchester United. It's funny to see what is happening, and their run of games is not getting any better because they've got Wolves away who just had a good manager bounce. Newcastle at home won't be easy. Liverpool at Anfield, and they got Arsenal in the FA Cup, and they're currently sitting 13th on the -1 goal difference. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it is the first time in their history that they are 13th. Also, that they are below mid-table. They're in the bottom half of the table for the first time, and yet that is a combination of Ten Hag and Amorim. But I think some decisions Amorim hasn't done himself justice. But yeah, it's all mad down in Manchester, along with Man City as well, because we all know what's happening with them. But yeah, it is what it is. Let me know, especially Man United fans, in the comment section, what needs to happen for Man United to get a consistent run of games, and is it the quality in attack, which I think it is. It's that they got to sign players in January, which I think everyone knows it has to be, because if you're looking at that team, there's only a handful of players that you could say are good enough. But yeah, remember, like, sub, and share, and I'll see you lot in the next video.